me. But card artistry, just like other theatrical forms, music and dance, has its own styles, its own classics, its own genres. I'm going to start my show tonight by doing the same effect in 3 different ways. First, in the flashy American style, you'll all remember from the 1970s. Well, on my way to the luckiest night of my life. Now, the same effect as you might have seen it performed by a European. Ooh. An old Meters tune, Just Kissed My Baby, going back for number 2. Think about how much better this might look with a frilly shirt or a bow tie. Think about how much better I might look. Now the same effect as you might have seen it performed in a drawing room, very much like this one at the turn of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall endeavor to illustrate and show how futile are the attempts of plebeians to enter that select circle of society known as the beau monde, and indeed to show how such entree is prevented by the polite yet frigid exclusiveness of its gentler members. Let us assume it is the occasion of a public reception. Our table the hall, our deck the common herd, and we would fittingly select the 4 queens as representing the feminine portion of the smart set. Now, as would naturally be the case, I shall besiege these high-strung patrician ladies with attentions from the lower orders, which these next 12 cards shall represent. I shall start by placing 1, 2, 3 commoners on Her Majesty the Queen of Hearts. The next 3 outsiders on the Queen of Diamonds. And though the mention or notice of all these suitors is equally abhorrent to the grandes dames, I shall treat them alike by placing on the Queen of Spades 1, 2, 3 more rank outsiders. Finally, the last 3 who have been closest to the bottom, therefore least crowding and most deserving to proffer their homage on the Queen of Clubs. Ladies and gentlemen, as you have seen, I have brutally taken advantage of these tenderly nurtured and unsophisticated young creatures by placing them in positions which must be extremely galling to their aristocratic sensibilities. Can they endure? Can they endure?
Yes. Yes.
Indeed they can. Having some knowledge of the marvelous subtlety, resources, and finesse of the sex, I feel confident these women can, with tact and discretion, easily elude their persecutors and form a more congenial coterie amongst themselves. Watch first the Queen of Clubs. Watch her as she turns her back on the suitors and then goes to Windsor for the weekend. Next, the Queen of Spades, slightly more daring than the others, tantalizes the men, Gucci, Gucci, goo. Amidst their consternation, makes good her escape. The Queen of Diamonds knows the aphorism, it's easiest to disappear in a crowd. Now you see her, and alas, now you do not. Or, as I suggested only a moment ago, is it possible these women could seek out each other's company? The fatal vanity of the sex could prove me correct. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4.